Delta Force, you are authorized to breach the extracellular matrix. Target, hidden cancer cells. No more.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about tumors secreting protease inhibitors, as well as why tumors do that, and what the protease inhibitors do to certain targets. Okay, so a tumor secretes protease inhibitors to stop the following, such as the cleaving of certain adhesion molecules that would otherwise support cancer tumors or cancer tumor function. So proteases can be from fruits such as pineapples, papaya, or kiwis. All those are protease fruits. Or proteases, they can even be from drugs like in a lab or like a medical, like at the hospital. They can inject protease inhibitors into humans. Okay, so tumors, they need a CD14 on the toll-like receptor 4. That way, with the CD14 on the TLR4, that's going to lead to a TRIF or CD14 TLR4 TRIF or TRIF axis, because by doing so, that leads to an M2-like phenotype, which is that M2 state is actually immunosuppressive, and the tumor thrives on that immunosuppression. So, but the only way for that to happen, which is the immunosuppression, is for the CD14 to stay intact on the toll-like receptor 4. So with the CD14 intact, which is why the tumor secretes protease inhibitors, because the protease inhibitor is supposed to stop or inhibit the protease from, like, let's say pineapple, from cutting or cleaving the CD14 off the toll-like receptor 4. Because if the CD14 was cleaved off the TLR4 by pineapple, then that would reduce or lower the chance of the M2 immunosuppressive phenotype that the tumor thrives or survives on. So up next, by protecting the CD14 from being cleaved off the TLR4 with protease inhibitors, this is the state or the process or the outcome that the tumor is looking for or induces on purpose. And that outcome is the T cells being upregulated or even excessive T cells. This happens if the CD14 is still intact on the toll-like receptor 4. With excessive T cells, that causes the T cells to attack the bodily tissues, which is what the tumor wants or needs, and this ends up shifting over to an M2 immunosuppressive phenotype because that phenotype, the M2, ends up protecting or serving the tumor. This is why tumors send out or secrete protease inhibitors to stop the proteases from cleaving off the CD14 off the TLR4. Because if the CD14 is not intact on the TLR4, then the immunosuppressive M2 phenotype that serves and protects the tumor will not be able to occur or will be disabled. Another reason that tumors secrete protease inhibitors is to protect the PD-1 tail. The PD-1 is basically on the immune cell, and then the PD-L1 is on the tumor or on the cancer cell. If that continues for too long, then the T cell will become exhausted, which is exactly the tumor's goal. By preventing the cleavage of the PD-1 tail, by sending out a protease inhibitor to block any proteases from cleaving off the tail off the PD-1. Tumors, they also secrete protease inhibitors to protect machinery such as NS-MACE2, ASCT2, and XCT. This is because NS-MACE2 is involved in exosome production. If the NS-MACE2 is cleaved off or somehow inhibited, then that means that the machinery NS-MACE2 will not be able to produce the exosomes. Therefore, the tumors cannot receive the exosomes. If you've seen my other videos on exosomes, and I have many on them about exosomes, then you'll know what I'm talking about and why tumors want the exosomes. Exosomes can be like literally frighteningly effective. That's why the tumors must not get the exosomes. The tumors, they also want the ASCT2 transporter to be protected and not cleaved off by protease as well. That's because the tumors, they need ASCT2 so that they can take up glutamine as a fuel source for tumor growth. Another machinery that tumors want to protect by secreting protease inhibitors is the CD70 axis machinery. CD70 is a ligand on tumor cells and even immune cells that binds CD27. So that the CD70 on the tumor binds to the CD27 on the T cell. This ends up driving T cell activation. If that axis goes on for too long, the CD27, CD70, that will eventually lead to ongoing NFKB. That could also lead to a PGC1A loss or disruption, leading to a mitochondrial dysfunction as well. Therefore, weak immune cells, which is what tumors want, because immune cells, they need ATP from mitochondria to be able to function. Okay, phytic acid is a natural compound found in cereals, legumes, and nuts, and it is known for anti-cancer properties. It can even inhibit tumor growth and promote apoptosis. So something as simple as a nut, there's many pistachios, macadamia nuts, almonds, to name a few, could have an impact on cancer. But phytic acid could actually enhance tumor protease inhibitor secretion, unfortunately. So maybe nuts and seeds might not be too good of a thing, at least to not eat so many. Or a good way to get rid of the phytic acid in nuts is to cook or soak them or roast them to reduce some or most of the phytic acid. So evidence suggests about phytic acid that it upregulates TIMPs, short for tissue inhibitors of metalloproteinases. So cancer cells, they also upregulate those same TIMPs as well. Okay, so if this is a whole another rabbit hole for me to go down into to do some more research, but it says that phytic acid also modulates signaling pathways that control protease inhibitor secretion machinery. Okay, so quick recap. Tumor secrete protease inhibitors to protect CD14 on the toll-like receptor 4. This is so that T cells become overactive, they attack the bodily tissues, and then M2 phenotype is switched on, which protects the tumor. Tumors protect the PD1 from having its tail cleaved off, so that T cells remain exhausted with the PD1, PDL1 axis. Tumors protect the ASCT2 from being cleaved off with proteases, so that the tumors can take glutamine as a fuel source. Tumors protect the NS-MACE2 machinery for exosome production, which are terrifyingly effective. Tumors protect the CD70 machinery from being cleaved off on the cancer or the tumor for ongoing CD27, CD70 axis, which reduces PGC1A and leads to exhausted T cells. Phytic acid is known for being anti-tumor, but on the flip side, it also makes protease inhibitors as well, such as TIMPs, and cancer makes TIMPs as well. So that's it for the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep it locked in here on this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.